this is the Irish Extra, and lads, okay, for a while now, you've all been laughing at my terrible predictions, right? Saying that I've got the predicting skill of a blind leopard. But okay then, let's bring you into the room. And not literally, for one thing, it's too small, and also just smells of cauliflower and overall sadness. But look, I'm going to ask you to play the game with me. Not in a sinister jigsaw sort of way in the Saw films, no. No one's going to have to chop off their foot around here. Well, maybe me, depending on the forfeits. I don't know. If I had to do it, for one thing, it would probably be in the car park of Aldi. If any foot's getting chopped off anywhere, it's going to be there. But look, I'm not going to ask you to do crazy forfeits or nothing, but I want you to put all of your results for every game this weekend in the comment section below. And then I'm going to have to work out a way where if we do this week by week, where I can compile all of your scores, 5 points for the correct outcome, 10 points for the bang on score, and then whoever finishes top of the leaderboard in May, you get a prize. Let me know what the prize is in the comments, what you want it to be. I don't know. Maybe I'll send you a box of cookies in the post. I don't know, but look, anyway, let's get on with my predictions then. And lads, this is a tasty Premier League weekend because it seems all the teams down the bottom are scrapping against each other, and the teams at the top are as well. So this could be a pretty pivotal weekend in the overall Premier League table. But look, first of all, tonight, Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest. This is a mammoth game. This is huge. Like, words cannot overestimate or underestimate just how big a match this is. Look, Leeds have been brilliant for a couple of months now, but they've literally moved nowhere up the table. They've been 16th for 2 months. And it seems almost unfair. Like, they've been so good over the December and January months that they should really have moved themselves well away from the relegation battle. But they haven't. And it's almost like they've been given some sort of mystery points deduction. Like, that would make sense why they're still nowhere near safety. But it's not. It's just for some reason, all these points haven't really added up to much because teams below them have been chipping away and getting wins while they've been getting a lot of draws. It seems unfair. It seems really mean that Leeds are still down there. I don't get it. It's like, in one of those horror films where the babysitter has been running for 20 minutes and you still can't outrun the bad guy who's just walking. Like, it makes no sense, but that's what Leeds are, a babysitter about to get attacked in a bush. Look, Nottingham Forest have been good as well lately, though, so I don't know. You know what? I'm going to go with a draw. I know Leeds have been good at home lately, but I think it worries me that they're nowhere near safety and are still absolutely in this relegation battle, despite them having outperformed Forest in the vast majority of games over the last 2 months. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the draw. I'll go 1-1 for Kunde Buonanotte, and then a late Forest equaliser from Dylan Bakwa. All right, next up, Man United versus Tottenham. Oh, lads, it's Spurs. Wow. Can Michael Carrick keep the gravy train moving on? And can he win 4 games in a row? Which would mean that fella who won't cut his hair is 1 game short of a haircut. It kind of shows how slow football media has kind of become in the mainstream that, we've literally got regular updates on whether or not a grown man cuts his hair or not. I don't care if he cuts his hair. Why does everyone else? Yeah, but look, I guess he's 2 games away from it. The goodwill factor is back at Old Trafford now. They've been carried by the buzz of having a popular ex-pro in the dugout. They had all this Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and yeah, he went on a crazy run of winning a lot of games. So don't worry to you, United Strand. I'm sure you will take your scissors to your hair at some point soon. The barber probably won't even recognize who you are. It's been that long. But look, actually, what's he gonna do when Man United do win 5 in a row? What's his next thing gonna be? To get himself in the news. What if Man United get really, really good under Carrick? Does he then promise not to, cut his armpit hair until Man United lose 5 in a row? Like, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to go with this Spurs loss. Man United win 3-0. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 Man United. I'm going to go Brian and Bebo, Mateus Cunha, and Šeško. Why not? I really don't think Spurs will do anything here. I just think Man United right now are in their sort of flow state. And yeah, it's just going to be a pretty easy win. And if not, if Spurs magically win, then I will stand outside Aldi offering people toast from my pocket. Until someone takes one. Right, next up, Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. I really like Bournemouth, okay? You all know I do, and I think Antonio Iriola's a genius. This is the Basque derby, where he's going head-to-head with Unai Emery. I think everyone will get to Emery's level at some point. I do. I think he's going to have the trophies to back up his unbelievable managerial and coaching talent. I do think that. Oh, this could be a draw. Look, Villa are in poor form, okay? They haven't won. No, they what am I saying? They beat Newcastle recently, but that was the only game that they've actually scored in the last 4 matches, which stinks of their August form, where they were blunter than a cheese sandwich. So I'm not going to back Villa here. I think Bournemouth have got the confidence back. I'm going to go with the Bournemouth win. I'm going to go 2-1. Eddie Creepy Jr. with both. And for Villa, Morgan Rogers. But yeah, I'm going to go with a Bournemouth win. And if Villa win, I don't think they will, then I will wave at people dressed as a gorilla. Next up, Arsenal versus Sunderland. Arsenal win. Just win. Just win the game, please. I cannot have Sunderland finish above Newcastle this season. I also cannot have Sunderland nicking a European spot. Imagine next season if Sunderland are in the Europa Conference League or worse still, the Europa League, whilst Newcastle are staying at home watching Grey's Anatomy with their mum. I can't have that. I just can't. It can't be. So Arsenal have to put a stop to this Sunderland nonsense. It has to be an Arsenal win. It has to be. This can't be like what it was at the Stadium of Light when Sunderland were the first ones to puncture your balloons. Honestly, that last-minute equaliser haunts me because I turned off the TV at 2-1. Yeah. When I found that out on my phone, I'm pretty sure I had a forfeit on the line as well. So, it was more difficult to digest than if I tried to swallow a bin. But I'm gonna go with an Arsenal win. Of course I am. All right. I'm gonna go with a comfy Arsenal win, 4-1. I'll give Sunderland a goal via Brian Brobby. He's probably due one, but Arsenal, it'll be Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus, and Rice. 4-1. Yeah, pretty simple. And if Arsenal don't win, then I will eat 50 bowls of Rice Krispies dressed as a Teletubby. Burnley versus West Ham. This one is massive. This is arguably the biggest game in the list, because if West Ham lose, they are toast. Because they're really down there, and I know they've been doing well. They've been turning it around, but this would be awful if they were to lose here. It would remind me, actually, of 2007, when West Ham were trying to stay with the Great Escape, and they went to fellow relegation occupants, Charlton Athletic, and lost 4-0. I honestly have no idea how the Hammers managed to stay up from that terrible position, because losing 4-0 to Charlton in March, that felt like curtains, lights out. This would feel very similar if West Ham were to go to Turf Moor, which is not an easy place to go, by the way. I mean, Burnley are absolute soggy sausage rolls on the road, as proven at Sunderland earlier this week. But at home, Turf Moor is and always will be a tricky place to go. Ironically, when it wasn't difficult was when Vincent Kompany was at the wheel, who is Burnley's best ever manager. Like, not for Burnley, by the way, no, but the best manager to ever grace Turf Moor and to sit in the dugout. Like, he's miles ahead of Sean Dyche, but he was just a dreadful Premier League boss for Burnley, and they were so easy to beat. Anyway, that's the only time Burnley are ever easy to beat at home. When Turf Moor is not a fortress, is when they have got a manager who's almost too good and tries to play really expansive, fluid Barcelona stuff. So, I'm going to go with a last-minute West Ham win. I'm not going to bet any forfeits because this could be anything, but I'm going to go with like a 2-1 last-minute win, a bit like their Europa Conference League final win. It's huge. It's almost as big a game as that one. I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go Jacob Brun-Larsen for Burnley. Did I say Jacob? What? Jacob Brun-Larsen for Burnley. And for West Ham, I'm going to go, why not? Axel Disasi, goal in his debut in like the 80th minute. And then last minute, Jaron Bowen, last minute goal, which will be very similar to Jamie Vardy's last minute winner for Leicester at West Brom 10 years ago, which gave them the shot in the dark they needed to stay up and put off the Great Escape. Similar with West Ham. I think this is their Vardy moment, and Bowen's going to do it. Next up, Fulham versus Everton, 0-0. Boring as mustard. Next up, Newcastle versus Brentford. I hope Newcastle win because we've had a gloomy week. In the second leg of a cup semi-final where Newcastle were the reigning champions, we were 5-0 down on aggregate at halftime. 3/4 of the legs gone, 5-0 down on aggregate. Sure, Newcastle won the second half via an Anthony Elanga wonder strike, weirdly, but it was pretty depressing. It's a sad way to kind of relinquish the crown, because officially now we're no longer the League Cup champs. Now, technically I guess we are until the final, but we're not really, because there's literally 0% chance of defending that crown now that City put us to the sword, and it's kind of sad. It's It's a bad way to go out. I mean, this coming a few days after getting slapped 4-1 at Liverpool, where Hugo Ekitike literally just rammed salt into my open wounds. It was tough. It was like the man had personally shoved a fish finger in my eye. And, not even me waltzing in on Lewis Hall and Alex Murphy having brunch the next day could sort of really heal that wound. Now, I mean, I did find it quite amusing that I made such a fuss over Alex Murphy, was ignoring Lewis Hall like he's the fat girl of the dance. But I knew, come on, I knew no one was going to bother Murphy when they see those two out together. Most people wouldn't even recognize him. I'm pretty sure whoever served them breakfast that day probably said, "Hello, Lewis, who's your friend?" So, yeah, I had to give him some bit of fuss. But look, I'm going to go with the Newcastle win here. Shock, right? But now the Magpies' form at home is still pretty good. And look, we need to get some wins to go up the table, and I think we will. I think we're going to have a good spring. We have to. Just have to get into a Europa League spot at least. And, yeah, so I'm going to go with the Newcastle, but I'll go 3-0, actually. I think it'll be a good one. I'm going to go with an own goal from Nathan Collins, and I'm going to go with goals from Yohan Wissa against his former club. I know he won't celebrate, okay, to prove he's not the devil in black and white. And a goal from Anthony Gordon. Go on, he's back in form now, I guess. Yeah, and if Brentford win, I will stand outside in the wedding dress with flowers, asking people if they'll marry me. All right, next up, Liverpool versus Man City. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. Usually, this would be a game which would have some sort of bearing on the title race. Like both teams would have a stake in the title race. Liverpool have none, literally none, which is really weird because there's been very few fixtures over the last 10 years between Liverpool and Man City where one of them was out of the title race when they played each other. Really weird experience this is going to be. Look, Liverpool have their mojo back, I guess, because they flattened Newcastle, but I just can't chalk up many Man City losses because Pep's going to have these players focused and motivated. This Premier League title means more to the City players than for Liverpool clawing top four, right? I think Man City's hunger for the title overrides Liverpool's desperation to sort of, I don't know, just make the season not a total mockery. Like, I think the motivation is going to be there for City, and I think they will. I think I'll go with a draw. I don't think City will win at Anfield because they never win at Anfield, except when there's no fans in the stadium. Oh, then they'll score 4, absolutely easy. But no, once the Anfield fans are there, then yeah, it's they seem to just absolutely just choke and crumble like squirrels trying to eat cake. So I'll go with Liverpool 2, Man City 2. I'll go Virgil van Dijk and Salah penalty. And for City, I'll go Foden and Marmoush. Yeah, I don't think Man City will win, but I don't think they will lose. And if Man City do lose, then I will give 50 quid to a stranger without saying a single word to them. No context, just weird. Wow, that would be really weird. I hope that doesn't have to happen. But look, all right, those are my predictions. Get your predictions in the comment section below. And that is that. Let's see if I'm not a total blueberry muffin on Monday morning. But we'll see. We will see. Oh, wait, I forgot one. Brighton versus Crystal Palace. A derby, I guess. Not really. I guess to them it is, but no one else cares about this rivalry. None, because I'm not even sure why it's a rivalry. They don't even live near each other. It's some weird fabricated rivalry. Like, I don't know where this even stems from. Wow, did a Brighton and the chairman of both clubs back in the 70s fight over who got the last packet of crisps? Like, I don't know where they started. It's so weird and random. But it usually always ends 1-1, so I'm going to go 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to go Welbeck and Jeremy Pino. Yeah, that's it. All right, so that is the video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to get extra praise. I'll waffle you in a while.
Wolves versus Chelsea. Oh yeah, I forgot this one. 1-0 Chelsea, Palmer.